Alright, we're starting over again. So I've got to replace this connector down here, which you can barely see. This is what the replacement connector looks like. So if I can get you focused in here a little bit. You can see here there's white ones and there's black ones. I think they're just, I don't believe they're any different. I think it's just to tell you which one goes where. In this case, the white one goes on the front. But what happened on the one I'm replacing is this little, basically that little loop right there shattered off, and so this is the locking element. So it doesn't have a locking element, it just wants to back off. So we're going to go ahead and replace that. This is the new housing. All the pins stay the same, all the wiring stays the same. Just basically take the existing housing off and replace it with a new one. I got these from a company called iWire. They do specifically Subaru wiring. They do all kinds of harnesses and stuff like that, but they do have these little replacement kits. You can get new contacts, new housings, as a single or as a whole car's worth. So we're going to go ahead and give that a try, and then I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. And maybe I'll even be able to show you how the one that is in there comes out. I'll probably be able to a little easier to see. Okay, that was so unexpectedly easy that I'm going to attempt to show you how it was done. So obviously this one's the bad one, but when it's sitting in the vehicle, it sits pretty much just like this. Let's see if we can get up close. Alright, let's see if we can get this thing in focus here. Come now, there we go. Alright, so it sits in the vehicle just like this. The three wires come out the back side here. So they're coming out in that way. And you want to obviously be very, very careful because each wire does something different. So you got to make sure that either come out straight and stay that way, or you pull them out one at a time. But basically the first step in the process is you just take a small screwdriver and then basically release this little locking element. That thing comes out of there. And then deep down inside of here, let's see if we can focus or not, I'm not sure if we'll get there. So inside of here are these little locking tabs. Let's see if I can get a, so just basically under the tip of my screwdriver there, and you pull each one down. It's a little bit more up, yeah, you pull each one of them down, so it's just right there. You pull each one down and that releases the pin inside, and you can pull them all out. And if you apply a little bit of pressure, basically you just kind of squeeze, so you're kind of pulling away from the back of the connector housing. While you basically do each one of these, they'll kind of release. And they won't snap, they don't seem to snap back in, so. Anyway, it was supremely easy. So much so, I think I'm actually going to do all four. I have the connectors for all four. You won't really be able to see it too well, but down at the end of there is the replaced connector housing. So I'm actually going to try to do all four while I'm doing this. Alrighty, so here they all are. I pulled all four of them out. This one and this one were the ones I had gone in, that had broken because they lost their little retaining feature. These two theoretically are still good. They came out okay, and they still have their locking feature, so I could use them again if I needed to. This one didn't give me any trouble. This one, interestingly, I don't know if you can tell from the picture there, but oops. But the basically when I went to remove the little yellow locking part, the whole thing disintegrated, and so it kind of just started falling apart as we went. It's the closest to the turbo, so it's probably also the hottest, and that's probably why it's kind of fell apart that way and is the most worn out and damaged. Thing is, though, they're all probably somewhat worn out. I mean, the fact is they're all living in this engine. They've all gone through the same number of heat cycles, and so it's probably, I figure if some of them are going, then it's probably all of them will. Admittedly, as long as they're in place, they're probably not going to like go bad just going down the road. However, I'm in here doing the work, so now is as good a time as any. And I'll probably lose the rest of these parts if I wait until the next time I'm having to replace spark plugs, so might as well do it now. So anyway, there it went. Hopefully everything went well as far as I can tell. Hopefully, when I actually go to start the car, things that it is as it seems to be. So we'll move on to the next stage of the process here. Okay, made some progress. We've got the air cleaner back on. We've got the map sensors plugged back in. So this is all connected, that never came off. Got these two coolant hoses back up under the upper reservoir on. We've got the tank for the windshield wiper fluid on, back on there and connected up. Got the belts on there. And then what we're going to do from here is we're basically going to put the radiator back in, and that'll be the next step. So I actually have a radiator in there. That's a brand new radiator right out of the box. Never had fluid in it. And yeah, so we got that going for us. So we'll try our best to move on from here. So it's actually torqued in. There's a little retainer right here, and there's a little retainer right there. Those are torqued down. So the next thing I got to do is put on the lower radiator hose in that black abyss. I'll then put on the actual fans. Once the fans are on, I can put on the upper radiator hose and these other little sundry hoses, the overflow tank, and then I dare say the battery. And we'll go from there. It'll just be a good old-fashioned fun time. Alright, as you've probably just seen, I went ahead and got her all back together for the most part. No fluid in there yet, so I'm going to go ahead and start, I gotta get out the fancy schmancy refilling funnel. It's going to go into that upper reservoir, and I'm going to start filling it up. So we'll start doing that, and then once I'm moderately confident that I've got fluid and everything, we'll go ahead and restart it. And fingers crossed nothing went terribly wrong. And we'll start watching for fluid leaking at the bottom and adjust from there. So hopefully we didn't rush anything too much.
Orange. If you need the middle that was on its side, that yellow thing was on its side, and then it went up.
I know.
Why?
It just fell in. It's okay. think I've only got a second or two before this thing stops recording. So that's it. I'm gonna clean up, and then this is it. Just about done. In fact, I think we are done. Got a road test next, and then fingers crossed, no leaks.